This morning, I felt a deep calling to bring a reading for those that need to make a decision over their relationship. I felt a specific energy, an energy of a couple that is thinking about breaking up, or a couple that have broke up and is at a distance thinking about returning to each other. So I knew that this was a direct calling for me to bring a timeless love reading for those that are experiencing the situation. So if you are in a difficult path and trying to wait whether you want to stay in a relationship or go, or if you already broke up but is weighing if you should return or not, this reading is for you. So today we will ask the cards in a very interesting way. What happens that it's amazing and positive if I stay in this relationship? And what do I have to lose if I do? And in the other part of the reading, we'll be asking, what happens if I decide to go? What happens to my life? What outcomes will be arriving to me? And what other outcomes won't if I decide to leave? So we will split the deck into two parts and go with the reading this way. And if it's the first time you're here, welcome. I'm the Sacred Owl, and I really want to thank you for clicking, for choosing to do this reading with me. Trust the guidance that brought you here. You're not here just for a reason. Your intuition led you here, and I want to invite you to tune in to what brought you here. Tune into this energy, tune into the questions you want to ask, and ask for answers. And I'm sure you will find, not even if it's a small one, something will bring you clarity and light so you can decide what is best for you in this moment. All right? So let's start tuning in into this energy together. For the collective here, please, let's split this energy to understand what positive outcomes will happen if they stay, what do they have to lose, and what do they have to win if they go, and to lose if they also go. Cutting in 3 and then in 2, and we will start your reading. So this is the deck for those that are thinking about stay, for those that are thinking about go. And I will leave here in the timestamps separately if you decide to watch it this way, but I do recommend you to watch the full reading so you can really understand, the directions and paths that are here available to you. All right, so let's start understanding the outcomes if you decide to stay in this relationship. For the collective, first card, the beginning of the Gypsy Society. I will pull a few more cards before I give you a full overview of what I'm seeing, but I already understand where the message is going. Nevertheless, there is more to come, so I want to bring this clarification for you. So I have Humble Pigeon, and I have the Wheel of Fortune. So it's actually interesting because the cards are letting me know first, letting us know first, what is the work that must be done, before you decide to stay or go, what is beautiful, what is not. But there is an inevitable work that must be done to recover, restore the relationship. So I have these 3 cards, beginning of the Gypsy Society, Humble Pigeon, and Wheel of Fortune. And what does that mean? It means that you need to reset the relationship completely in order to stay together if this is what both of you want. Why is that? I see so much hurt, so much disappointment. Whether it's you or the other person, I feel that there were things said or maybe done that brought a level of hurt to this relationship that is much likely the reason why there was a breakup there. And when I say things said and done, to be more specific, I'm picking up a message over a specific conversation, maybe a situation that were supposed to be a positive sit down between you two, a positive communication, and ended up not being it. And things that were said in that specific moment were extremely hurtful. And I do feel that there was a positive intent in this communication, but it didn't end up this way. So the first thing to understand is that this relationship that you had before is over, completely over. It's not something that you will recover. With the beginning of this society, they're saying this, whatever you had is over. You need to recover, to restore, to rebuild the relationship from ground zero. Do you want it or not? Knowing that this hurts, they will need to be addressed in order to restart from zero. So whatever you had with this person, it doesn't exist anymore. Understand that. All right. So there's movement to come, there's work to be done. And if this is the decision, know that this comes, whether you receive blessings, which there are always blessings in staying and working through difficulties, or whether you have other outcomes, they're not so positive for you. Know that this is an inevitable work that both of you will need to understand. The relationship will never be the same. And this can be for a good reason. Let's understand. Yes, beautiful card. I have two cards that are very powerful, very powerful. And this is the blessing. This is the positive outcome. And it's a gift that is given to us and that relates to our journey. Is the gift of life. But I will explain you. We have the 7 Paths of Destiny, and we have the Gypsy Society. And the 7 Paths of Destiny is a powerful card because it speaks about which direction shall we take, And if you decide to stay in this relationship, you will be given the blessing, now both of you, to learn to decide by balancing what a path can give you, how you will be received in the path if you take that path. I will explain soon. And what you have to lose. And why is this a blessing, Sacred Owl? Because the most powerful tool that we have as couples is to be able to make decisions together. So if you work through this initial difficulty that I explained to you, if you're both able to reset the relationship, as we spoke about, you'll be blessed with this learning, both of you. And this will lead to expansion, to future investments in the relationship that will have allowed you both to be a family, to be a community, to grow something bigger that you have already. All right, whatever this means for each one of you is completely different. All right. There is something that I must explain to you about this card, and it is a little bit of a story of it at the same time, and I know that will resonate with you and will give you a better understanding of these choices. This card relates to a tradition of the Gypsy people. It represents the 7 clans, the 7 societies, and the paths that they used to take, because Gypsy people were nomads. So at some point they would just leave, and when they come to a crossroad, they would carry on a coin. They would throw this coin over and let it fall on the floor, and whatever it felt in the crossroad, this coin would explain to them, if you take left, let's say, this path will bring you joy, but also difficulties that will help you to grow as a person. The other path to the right, to the east, west, north, south, does not matter, will receive you with happiness, and you won't have any difficulties. So, and if you decide to go backwards, and take another crossroad, you will be received with a lot of difficulties, but the earnings that you're gonna have, they're gonna be major. Do you understand where I'm going with this? There is no perfect path, all right? But the choice of knowing where they lead, it's a blessing. Do you understand? So the choice of the blessing of be able to sit down with someone and communicate in a healthy way and decide the direction, weighing the ups and downs, is the biggest blessing you win, as a couple, if you stay in this relationship. What else? I have the message, communication. This is only a confirmation of what we are already talking about, okay? This speaks about the communication and being able to see eye to eye. Let me know here in the comments, okay, guys, how this is resonating with you. I have the Mask of Spell, the Intuition, the Children. One more card before I give you the overview. And the Happiness. And the Trip. Interesting. One more, please clarify. I understand already, okay. Okay, we are already going towards other direction here. And the Gypsy Tent. There is something that speaks about illusion here. Illusion. What is this illusion? One more for it, please. All right, the Moon. It feels to me that I understand. All right. When you decide to stay in this path, in this relationship, there is something that you must understand, and this is really about yourself and about the way you project relationships. That not everything is the way we want. And it feels to me here, for those that arrive in this collective reading, that some of you have project a way of the relationship should be, or the way you want your life to be. And don't get me wrong, we all deserve to have what we want. And I'm not saying you should give up about that. But I'm telling you that not every single detail, every small little thing will add up. You should always stand for the things that have high value to you, but understanding that sometimes we are dealing with someone else and they don't have the same vision about those small things. It is important that both of you align in your highest and biggest values in order to be a couple. Nevertheless, know that both of you will need to leave those small little things that you thought that will bring extra sparkle to the relationship. So it feels to me that sometimes there's conflict, sometimes there is difficulties in the communication because one of the parts do not want to let go. You want the whole full picture structured that way, and you're not willing to give up a tiny little bit of it in order to be happy. And relationships sometimes don't work this way. So with the Mask of Spell, it shows to me that you should work through the illusions of the mind and limiting beliefs you have. Nevertheless, the intuition right beside it tells me, understand that there is a level in our mind that it is causing you an illusion and a structure maybe not reachable in this relationship itself. Nevertheless, your intuition is here to tell you what really matters to you, and trust that. Okay? Have a few more cards here, and let's pull up here and see if something else pops up for us as a final message. Okay. The Star. I think this is the last advice, and I kind of like that. The Lucky Gypsy. The Rats. Oh, pick up an... the Empress. Wow. The Young Gypsy. Wow, this is strong. I will just bear with me a second. So let me clarify this for you. The eggs, the fish, and the... Okay, this is a specific message, and the Death card. And there are two messages here, okay? One is over personal growth, okay? And other is over a specific situation that some of you are experiencing, and it will not be for everybody. So first give the message over the personal growth. Look, if you feel that you're lacking a transformation, that you feel that you need to let go of certain things, in order, behavior-wise, okay, behavior-wise, in order to arrive in this relationship more mature, more decisive, more the owner of yourself. Okay, and I'm telling you this because I have several representations of these feminine cards, and it does not matter if you're a man or a woman, okay? Because this is about evolving, it's about accessing different energies within yourself, the Maid, the Empress, and the Maid, the Lucky Gypsy, and the Empress. They speak about three different moments, the youth, the adulthood, and the end of our life, that relates to being knowledgeable, to use whatever maturity we acquire in order to make decisions. What is this saying? It's saying to me that for some of you, you're not focusing and working on yourself, on your behavior, and what does not collaborate. So if so, you need to do fast, and not desperately, because knowledge, growth comes in its own time, but make that decision of starting, okay? If you feel that you're lacking and that behavior is not contributing to the relationship, know that it is important for you to work on that before considering joining this relationship, because a new self, and that I'm pointing towards this with the eggs, a new self, it's about to be born, and old needs to just literally comes to an end. It does not work. You cannot expect a new relationship being the same person that you were. You need to grow, and this is now. All right. And the other message that I have is for those that have experienced a sort of love triangle. If you have experienced a love triangle in this relationship, and this was what caused the break, note that there is not really there was too much loss in here, and with the Death card here is asking you for a new beginning, and this is of course your choice, but I don't see the situation change. Okay, I don't see the situation change. So if you went through a breakup or a distance, you are at a distance because there was a situation like that presenting on your relationship, know that the tendency is that this will not change, and they're calling you for a new beginning if you choose to. All right, otherwise the cycle will be repeating itself, and I need to give the message for those that were in a situation like this. All right, guys. Ooh, that was a lot. That was super intense. Yes, and let's go for the outcome. If you decide to go, if you decide to stay, you already know. If you decide to go, what blessings will be arriving, what positive outcomes, and what are you losing there? So let's understand. And ask for spirits for clarification. Please clarify, what are the blessings of letting this relationship go? Positive outcome. What is arriving that is new once the space is given? The car, Interesting. The healer, I really like this. Wow. And the judgment. Two more cards for you. The Tower. The Manifestation card, the Tree of Life, and one more. And the Fox. Look, this is a very, very powerful energy and it's very transformative. Very transformative. Okay, I do see you moving from where you are. Okay, this could be, there's a lot of healing here arriving if you decide to go. Could be that you really decide to take up on your dreams and on like projects that you really felt that were not for you, that they were too crazy, too, not going to say dangerous because I don't feel this way, adventurous, that they were, yeah. Not unachievable, there is a word. When it comes back to me, I will let you guys know. And I see you sitting down with yourself, not with anyone else, for a real conversation. I see that you're able to sit down with yourself and telling, this is what needs to go for my life. And I see you turning the back at it, happy, confident, and pursuing your dreams, your highest dreams. And we are speaking to things that have stayed inside of your heart for a long time that you wanted to achieve. This could be going in a trip that is important and a dream for you. This could be going to live in a city that you always felt a calling to go, but never really trust you could do it alone. You sit down with yourself in a way when everything is empty, and you're not, I'm not going to say that you're not caring and love with yourself, but you're so damn honest, so raw, that things come to an end. All the illusions and all the feelings that you have regarding, am I capable of achieving X, whatever that is for you, they come to an end. And you feel and fall so close to a feeling of being a feeling capable to whatever you want. Okay, there is just a warning here. Let's understand what this fox here is at the end. So I see a lot of change for you, a lot of healing for you. Okay, I don't see healing related to that person that you were with, but about yourself. It's almost like you lost a part of yourself, but not a part that you have lived yet. Okay, I want to be very clear about this. It's not something that you were living experience and working on. It's something that you always kept inside, that you know is truth, real, and that you want, but you never really were able to pull it up from here to bring it here and make it real. Now you recognize this part if you decide to go and you say, this is where I am at, this is where I need to be. Okay, and you own it. Powerful. I have the rituals. Okay, interesting. I have the page. I think I understand, but I'm gonna ask for a few more cards for clarification. I have the heart. And I have the seventh path. It's interesting because I feel that there is a sort of understanding. You release something here when we have the page and we have the rituals and the heart. It feels to me that there is a pattern on your love life of what kind of person you fell in love with. It's a little bit of a page, like players, or what I'm picking up here honestly is like people, they're a little bit less evolved than you know, and you need to mother them, you know. And it's kind of like that you always liked to be the one, and that's okay, guys. I'm not criticizing or judging anyone here, okay? It's really about sometimes we just pick up in partners, and this actually speaks something about ourselves much more than the others. Okay, so sometimes like you're used to be the one providing the feeling of shelter, providing like the knowledge for the other to growth, but this also puts you in a position of raising the other. And I'm not saying that this is necessarily negative when the other one picks up on that, but I feel that maybe in a few relationships that you had, the person wasn't picking up. You know, they always had you there kind of backing them up, and then that became exhausted for you. So you recognize this pattern, and you recognize that there is more for you there. So I only see good things for now. But there is something about letting go of wait, let me, okay. You recognize there's more, and there's people that are equal. There's something else coming through, but please bear with me. So you recognize there's more there. There are more people there. There are more men there. There are more women there. They're more mature, more rooted, and more like at my level at this moment. And it doesn't mean that people there are not on your level, they're less than you. It just means that they're not there yet. Okay, but there are people that are there yet, and you recognize that, and you see it, you start seeing. Before you didn't, but now you do. Okay, so I have other cards here. I have the horse. Okay. I have the horse and the sun. I understand. I have the gypsy marriage, so there's a new relationship that could come. And there is gypsy cross and the snake at the end, and I will explain to you that it's a very beautiful and powerful reading. Look, your sun arrives, your success arrives, your manifestations arrives. Loyal people that will desire to build a relationship equally with you will be arriving on your life. And success and abundance will be there for you. Okay, nevertheless, why is the snake here? It is because throughout this reading with the tower and with the car, all of this will only come if you decide to really take yourself out of where you are, which means really and truly letting go of friendships that no longer support you, past relationships, communication with people that no longer support where you want to be, who you want to become, and even maybe changing where you are living, the work you are at. Those are strong and very, very, very heavy decisions. But those decisions, they are necessary. So this is where you have to lose, and in this moment, this feels heavy and it feels major, and it might be. Nevertheless, what you have to win is much bigger. And the snake is here, has like a last saying, you can have all that, but, and if you're able to let everything fall to the ground. So this is the understand that you need to have. All right, guys, this is a very powerful reading. I really like it. And it's a lot, but it's a lot of good things, a lot of good messages. And I want you to share with me in the comments, how do you feel about this? If you're leading to a yes, to a no, and what kind of clarity this reading has brought you. For those that decide to stay for a few extra minutes, I will be pulling one card with Nature Speaks, which is a very interesting oracle that I like, and I will read a message from it because it leaves us with questions so we can meditate over. So if you feel the calling to stay a few minutes more to see what card will come through, I will leave 3 questions for you. And of course, guys, if you enjoyed this reading, don't forget to subscribe and like. Okay, this helps a lot my small community and my work here on YouTube. Yes, and let's tune in for a last message. I have the anchor. And let me pick up here. It's 35. I'll read the message from the book. The anchor. One of the last cards of this deck, actually, if not the last one. Here it is. The light aspect of this card speaks of endurance, grounded, persistent, safety, and stability. And the shadow speaks about the ego, nostalgia, and rigidity. Originally made of stone and leather iron, an anchor, when dropped, prevents a craft from drifting due to the forces of wind and water. When used in the shelter of an inlet or harbor, an anchor keeps your boat relatively secure in one place, preventing it from running. Aground or getting damage against nearly rocks, which means there is a proper time and place for using an anchor. Wow, that's so powerful. When it comes to daily life, the anchor, which keeps you tied to your particular story in your ego, puts together by memory, tradition, education, and identification. It helps to give you a sense of place and stability in an ever-changing and changeable world. Some questions to guide your meditation. Are your future directed, or do you tend to dwell on the past? What anchors might be keeping you stuck in some route or routine? Do you find difficult or challenging to sail away from your comfort zone? So you could always stop this reading and go back to these questions and write it down and really answer to yourself, or you could pick one to carry on with you while you, make this decision and navigate this moment. Thank you so much for being here, for staying in this reading, and I send you all my blessings and all the positivity and good vibrations for you. Bye-bye.